What are the two industries that are most polluted by lies and false knowledge? The first one is, of course, the food industry. The second one? What could it be? It has something to do with health. Yes, that's right, the sports industry. There is so much garbage taught and sold in the sports industry that destroys your body that it is a miracle to me that we haven't died out yet. From poisonous protein powders to unnatural drugs to useless personal trainers that have no clue of what they're doing. Fortunately, there are people who know what they're doing. One of them is Dr. Sears. If you want to understand sports, you could read this book, although it's not very a must, because, this book has incredible valuable information, but 2/3 of it is just advertisement for itself, and it's very annoying. If you want to read it, read the first 80 pages, and it will be enough. All the knowledge is in the front of the book. In this book, Dr. Sears tries to uncover the physical lifestyle of our ancestors, and it's really interesting. The thing that does not exist in the animal kingdom, which our ancestors are part of, is cardio. Animals do not run with a low pace for tens of kilometers. Only modern humans are stupid enough to do such things. What our ancestors did for sure is run away from predators or hunt down animals. I would even go as far as say that this was their main activity, getting food or not being eaten. There is no doubt that if we would try to translate these activities to sports, it would be short and intense bursts of exercise. I will tell you something funny. Did you know that if you do cardio, you do not put a strain on your heart? If you don't put a strain on your heart, it will get weaker, because that's how your body works. You have to stress it if you want it to adapt. This adaptation is called adaptive response. If you want your body to get stronger, you will have to stress it with short bursts of intense exercise. If you do cardio, you weaken your heart and your lungs. That's, by the way, also the reason why many world-class marathon runners just drop dead while running. The human body is not made for running marathons. The human body is made for either running away from a predator or catch an animal. What is physical health? Physical health is determined by a healthy heart and healthy lungs. Your heart is always connected to your lungs. If your lungs are converting not enough oxygen into the bloodstream, your heart will have to work harder to provide your body with energy. Only when you do a really hard exercise that makes you breathe heavily so that you can feel your heartbeat, your heart and lungs may grow. Does that make sense? Without putting a strain on the apparatus of nature, it will not adapt. Several weeks ago, I changed the exercise I was doing in the gym. Firstly, I stopped doing isolated exercises because they're worthless. If you want to have big muscles, that's great, but I want to be healthy. Second, I would do exercises that would exhaust me to such a high degree that I would need to stop and take a break. Once I recovered, I made another set. This was 2 weeks ago. As a result, my heart became so strong and my breathing so efficient that I solved all my problems with my lung and my heart. 3 weeks ago, I had some cardiovascular problems. I could feel my heart pounding. But now it is like I have put some oil in it. What kind of exercise am I talking about? Sprints are awesome. It's one of the best natural exercise that you can do. I do not think that there are exercises where you can go out to such a high degree like on a sprint. Unfortunately, in the gym, I cannot sprint. There's not enough space. I put some weight on my back, about 20 kilograms, and then I do lunges. After a few laps, that is enough to make me breathe heavily. I started 2 weeks ago with this, and since then my progression went through the roof. I have to admit that I am on a healthy diet, so I roughly need 1 day to recover. If I wanted to, I could go every day into gym. But the thing is that 2 weeks ago, I really had problems with this exercise because my lungs and my heart were so weak. Now they are barely hard. I really struggle to put enough strain on my heart and my lungs because they have become so strong. My weak point while doing this exercise have shifted from my heart and lungs to my legs. When I do this exercise, my legs do not need enough blood that I would breathe heavily. When it gets a bit warmer, I will find a place where I can do sprints so that I can further increase the power of my cardiovascular circle. Third, you do not exercise longer than 20 minutes. Isn't that great? You can spend so much more time with exciting things. You start your set of 6 repetitions of an incredibly difficult exercise. You make a break between each set. Don't look on your watch. You don't have to stop the time. Just catch your breath and you will know when you can continue. That is the whole point of the thing. Intense exercise and rest. The good thing is everyone can do this. You might start on a very low level. You might need 5 to 10 minutes between the sets because your heart is so weak, but that is not a problem. If you do this for a few weeks, you will make so much progress in such a little time. There is the story of this old woman. She's like 50 or something. She was sick, she was diabetic and all kinds of things, and 40 seconds of walking was almost enough for her to pass out. That's how weak her heart was. Dr. Sears put her in the program that I just described to you. No, she was not going to the gym, but she was doing exercises that were hard enough for her. For example, the first exercise was consisting of 1 minute of walking, and she did this 6 times a day. So she did a few minutes of walking with breaks in between. At this moment, that was enough for her. Sometime later, she was able to climb whole buildings on the stairs without taking the elevator. Day by day, it was no problem for her anymore because she increased the strain on her heart and her lungs, and she got an adaptive response. If you have problems with lungs or your heart, do an exercise that is hard enough for you that you have to breathe heavily. Do it 5 times in a row for 10 or 20 minutes and you will see incredible results. Good luck.